We have school bus cancellations. I'll get to those for you in just a moment. We also have some fog advisories and flood advisories and outlooks. Here's Frank.
Good morning. Here's a look right over at Bayview and Nesbitt this morning. You can see the road is closed. The reason for this is the Bayview extension that flows its way down all the way into the city. But as well, this is a low-lying area that we normally see some flooding that happens during significant rainfalls. Today, significant rainfall. It already has been raining since yesterday afternoon here in the city of Toronto, continuing to be on the soggy side this morning. This is just one round of several rounds we're going to see today on what's set to be not only a record-breaking rainfall day, but also a record-breaking temperature day. Kevin mentioned about some of the fog. The reason for fog out there is just how light the winds are. Winds are going to start to pick up. That'll move that air around, get rid of the fog. Going to be quite breezy today. Southwesterly flow about 40 to 60. That'll pull some of the warmth that we see in Windsor, already rapidly warming this morning. We're at 5 degrees. Today, your daytime high is set to be 15, +1 in through Ottawa. Through the overnight tonight, continuing an overnight low of 11. Keep the umbrella handy. You'll need it tomorrow morning as well. The rain really wraps up tomorrow afternoon, but then the temperature falls as wind direction changes. That puts us back to a seasonal high on Thursday. Could see a little bit of mixing with temperatures hovering around that freezing mark through Friday. Gray skies for Saturday, mainly overcast. On Sunday, daytime highs of 6. Back into another round of rain. Say goodbye to any snow. As we take a look into Monday, daytime highs of 4. And with all this weather impacting the roads this morning, Carrie.
Yeah, it's expected to be a slow go this morning, but so far we're not dealing with any issues affecting the major routes other than that fog and the ponding and pooling that we've been talking about. Don't forget that northbound Bayview, it is still closed off, and that's between Nesbitt and Moore, just north of Pottery Road, because of flooding in the area as well. Westbound on Eglinton, you'll find that reduced to a single lane. Approaching Birchmount, again, ponding and pooling is to blame for that. But as for the major routes, just seeing some delays starting to build westbound on the 401 as you head across Scarborough. All right, Melanie, I will send it back to you downstairs.
Thank you, Carrie. And it is our top story today, the weather. We are seeing some flood and fog warnings right across the GTA today. Hamilton, Niagara, as well as parts of Halton and Durham, all under a fog advisory. It's going to be very slow, your drive in. As Frank mentioned here, this is a live look at the Bayview extension. Parts of it are underwater right now. So northbound lanes closed off from Nesbitt to Moore. The Toronto Region Conservation Authority has issued a yellow warning for the city today. So mentioning that there could be some flooding because of higher water levels. We're going to be watching this throughout the morning as well as to well into the afternoon. Ponding could occur in some low-lying areas. So we'll let you know if there are any closures across the city as well. The DVP, always a trouble spot. And whether or not that could affect GO Transit is the question later on today. Now, with all of the fog, there are some school bus cancellations to tell you about. All buses in Division 3 North Wellington all canceled because of zero visibility. In Chatham, Kent, Sarnia, Lambton, buses in zones 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 all canceled. Quite a few in Huron, Perth, and in the Trillium Lakelands District School Board buses for both Haliburton and Muskoka and the city of Kawartha Lakes. All buses canceled here. Again, head to our website, bttoronto.ca/storm center for a full list. Now, Tammy Sutherland is live this morning at the TTC yards at Roncesvalles and Queen. An employee protest is happening right now, and she brings us the very latest there. Good morning, Tammy. What can you tell us here?
Good morning, Melanie. So there's a handful of employees, they're TTC operators and workers here who usually work out of the Roncesvalles car yard here at Queensway and Roncesvalles. But as of today, or as of yesterday, there have been shuttle buses that have been taking the employees from this yard over to yards in the East End. And that's because the Roncesvalles yard here is about to undergo some major renovations. They have to replace all the track here in order to accommodate some of those low floor streetcars, the new streetcars that are coming in. But the employees here are quite upset about the fact that they tried to get some kind of travel allowance that they say would be at a minimal cost rather than being shuttled from this car yard over to other ones in the East End. Just got off the phone with Brad Ross from the TTC. He says he doesn't understand what the issue is. The TTC has offered the shuttle service to get employees to and from with low convenience. He also says that there is zero impact on the public. This will not impact service at all for anyone who takes any of the streetcar lines that would come out of Roncesvalles at all. Although the employees that we spoke to claim that there's about a 2-hour impact of productivity per employee who has to be shuttled. But once again, the TTC is adamant that this will not impact public service at all. Again, TTC streetcars will be running as usual. This is just another means to get some of the employees to and from with very little issue there. So again, these employees here say that they're not going to be blocking traffic at all. They're just here as a show of support and to make sure that service is up and running as it usually is. Mel, I'll send it back to you.
Well, they are Canada's ice darlings, and they've likely capped off their career with the skate of their lives. Tessa Virtue and Scott Moir have won their second Olympic ice dance title with a world best combined score for their second Olympic gold and their fifth Olympic medal of their careers. Both have hinted this is likely their last games and will have more to say in the coming days. But with this win, they are now the most decorated figure skaters in Winter Games history. And Virtue was quick to take to Twitter after the skate to thank the country, saying, "Speechless. This is the moment we have dreamed about. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all of the support. This one is for you, Canada." And Tessa's partner, Scott Moir, saluted her as he took to social media. In a very simple message, he tweeted, "We did it, T." And of course, the Twitterverse is going crazy over our gold. Proud Canuck Ryan Reynolds tweeting, "Go Canada." Of course, he mentioned Cassie Sharp, saying that she's a legend. She also took gold. And thank you to Tessa Virtue and Scott Moir for agreeing to raise my children as your own. And one of the biggest compliments coming from Stats Canada, there is a 100% chance that Tessa and Scott will never pay for another drink for the rest of their lives. And as mentioned, Moir and Virtue not the only of the golden moments today. Cassie Sharp capturing the gold in the ladies ski halfpipe. The 25-year-old from BC previously won medals at the X Games and has also won a silver at the FIS World Championships. So here is a peek at where we stand so far in Pyeongchang. Canada has 8 gold, 5 silver, 6 bronze, brings our total medals to 19. As for where we stand at the Games, we are sitting in 3rd. Not bad. Norway sitting at the top, followed by Germany and then Canada. And then it's back to the Netherlands, the U.S. and France to round out the top 6. And on the ice today, Quebec's Kim Boutin and Marianne Saint-Gelais have qualified for the 1,000-meter short track speed skating quarterfinals. And Samuel Girard has qualified for the quarterfinals of the men's 500-meter short track. But veteran Charles Hamelin will not be advancing in the 500-meter after he was assessed for a penalty. So other results today, Canada's female curlers losing to China. So that means the women have to win their next 2 matches in order to advance. It is not impossible. So we'll keep you posted on all of this here. To the streets now, Peel police searching for a dark-colored vehicle after a man was shot dead in Brampton. We're going to take you to a live look at the scene right now where there is still police tape up. This is at Vauden Court and Vauden Street. Officers responding to reports of gunshots in the area just before 3 yesterday. And when they arrived, they found the victim who had been shot. The man succumbed to his injuries on the scene. He has been identified as 37-year-old Oliver Augustus Willis. Investigators are now looking for that dark-colored vehicle, and they are appealing to anyone who may have dash cam footage in the area. And also in Brampton, more gun violence yesterday, this time on Almond Street, which is in the Highway 50 and Castlemore Road area. Officers responding to reports of a shooting at around 8 p.m. They found a 37-year-old Brampton man suffering from non-life-threatening injuries. He was transported to a Toronto trauma center. Police believe the shooting an isolated incident and not related to the Vauden Court shooting that happened earlier on in the day. Families and friends of Toronto police officers confronting Chief Mark Saunders outside of police headquarters Monday. Their concern, staffing levels, which they say are putting their loved ones in danger. The Toronto Police Association says the shortages are being created by the modernization effort led by Saunders. The backlash by the union has included that, a billboard next to the Gardiner, and an online non-confidence vote launched against Saunders last week. Police Chief Mark Saunders will be joining us live here on BT a little bit later on this morning to respond to all of this criticism.